Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of First Pitch. Head Coach Ryan Brittle, and there is no co-host Brandon Roberts today. His throat was not feeling too well, and hopefully he can get back ready for this weekend.
No hard-hitting questions from B-Rob.
I certainly don't have any questions like B-Rob this morning. But we've concluded our regular season this weekend, Coach, with Hampden-Sydney. We definitely needed these two games, for many reasons. And anyway, that first game versus Hampden-Sydney, we were trailing 8-2 headed to the 8th inning, and we ended up sweeping the weekend after that. But Chase Mayberry had a good outing in that 8th inning. They came in with their bullpen, and we just scored 6 pretty quick. And it was a crazy game. But
it was a crazy game. My brother actually, I talked to him after the game, or he sent me a text message, and he said, "Dang, you guys won both games today." He said, "I turned the game off when it was 8-2 late in the game, and didn't watch anymore the rest of the day. He got frustrated, didn't watch." And I said, "Yeah," and we did a good job at the plate and against their relievers, and were able to put a little rally together in the 8th inning and tied the game up. And then it ended up going into extra innings, and I was proud of our guys. Noah Collins did a really good job on the mound at the end of the game. He pitched 3 scoreless innings for us and held them down so that we could come back and win that thing. And I was just really proud of us not giving up, and we haven't given up all year. But for us to come back and win that game and believe in ourselves, and we made mistakes, of course, as we always do, and everybody does. But we overcame those and we're able to pull out a 9-8 victory in the 10th inning and closed it out in the bottom of the 10th. Noah did for us. So I was really proud of the way we handled ourselves that day.
Yeah, and I actually think we've been slow. We haven't been playing as well lately, of course, and I think what was really important about these two games here is, even from the pitching aspect, we had a lot of guys that had a pitch. I think we only had 3 guys that didn't throw at any point in the games, and at some point they even were getting loose. But it was like a team win. Both games are certainly like a huge team win. We wouldn't have won either of those games if it weren't for like a whole entire team aspect. And I think when things for our team have been struggling a little bit of late, I think it was important for, that's the kind of game you need to get everything, I guess, back on track in a sense. And just like game 2, we won 11-6. I don't believe we trailed at any point in that game.
Maybe tied.
Maybe tied at some point, but we played really well in that.
We did. We played well. We swung the bats. We pitched it good enough. Will Davis in that game. Will Davis came in in the 5th and threw 5 innings for us. And did a really nice job. And it was good to see Will get out there and have some success. Not that he hadn't had success, but he's been had some misfortune and maybe last 2 or 3 outings. And it was good to have him on the mound at the end when we won the game and let him feel that feeling of being on the mound and closing the game out again. And that's a tough place. We've had a really tough time over 4 years here at Hampden-Sydney, and I feel like we exercised some demons down there and competed really well and came out with 2 wins that we desperately needed, and ended up the season at 13-9 in the conference. We were tied with Virginia Wesleyan and Shenandoah. The tiebreakers, after all the tiebreakers, we end up with a 5 seed. So we have to travel to Virginia Wesleyan this weekend. We travel to Virginia Wesleyan this weekend to play a 3-game series, best 2 out of 3. Whoever wins will move on to the conference tournament second round at Salem at the Red Sox Stadium in Salem. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, like Jake said, we're going to get to this a little bit, but me and Jake were talking about it. He's like, we go on a 5-game win streak, and we're in the regional,
Yep.
I mean, of course, you don't have to do it that way, but that's if you did it straight across. And he said, man, we've had multiple, I think 5, 6, maybe even 7-game win streaks this year. It's like, hey, let's just get on one of those, and we could be in a regional. But anyway, so like you said, we went 13-9 in the ODAC this year and 22-16 overall. So if someone would have told you that was the results of this season before the season, would you have been proud of that? What do you like your aspects? How do you feel like our team did?
I had a little higher expectation for us, but once the season got rolling and we've incurred some injuries on the mound that I think we've managed our way through pretty well, and to end up where we were is good. And I think probably every team on the list that you have there on your sheet can probably look back on certain games and go, man, we had this opportunity and that opportunity, which we did. We had multiple opportunities to win ball games, conference ball games, and other ball games too. Early on in the year, we had Denison and North Carolina Wesleyan. We lost 1-run games to them, but it is what it is, and here we are, and we put ourselves in a shot to continue to move on in the postseason. And I sincerely look forward to going to Virginia Wesleyan.
That's right.
I look forward to getting our guys back on the field and competing again, and I think that we have as good a shot as anybody at running this thing and heading to a regional here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, and for the conference tournament, I'm just going to – so obviously since the season is over, here's the 8 seeds in order. Randolph-Macon's number 1. So either play Eastern Mennonite, the 8 seed, Roanoke's number 2. They're going to play the 7 seed Lynchburg. Shenandoah's a 3 seed, going to play Hampden-Sydney, and Virginia Wesleyan's going to host us. So of course the top 4 teams host the best out of 3, like Coach said. So there's been a lot of people asking why. So of course Shenandoah, Virginia Wesleyan, and us all finished 13-9. And I called Coach Alston at one point over the weekend, trying to look through the manual and rule books and all this stuff, and I couldn't necessarily figure out what this point system means. I understand it now, but you can probably explain that if you want in some way.
So we didn't have to make it to the point system.
Oh, okay.
So it was head-to-heads. So if you look at Shenandoah's record against Virginia Wesleyan and Ferrum, they're 3-1. Virginia Wesleyan's record against Shenandoah and Ferrum is 2-2, and Ferrum's record against Shenandoah and Virginia Wesleyan is 1-3. So that's what determined the 3, 4, and 5 seeds in this case. So the point system never came into effect. The head-to-heads, the combined records of the 3 against each other is what determined the seeds this time.
Okay.
So.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Well,
if we had won a game against Shenandoah, all of us would have been 2-2, and they would have had to go to the point system in order to figure out what the 3 seeds were.
Yeah. Okay. Well. All right. That makes sense. Huh?
Actually, not, because we would have had one more win and we would have finished in 3rd place.
Yeah. I know. Goodness. But yeah, that's all the seeds in order. But so anyway, last thing, I don't have much here, but let's just. Thoughts on Virginia Wesleyan. Like you said, we split with them. They have a good guy in Pilarski. He's going to be really good. And that other guy pitched really well against us. But
Andrew Lowe.
Andrew Lowe.
And then they got another Cruz Myers, their lefty that they pitched during the midweek.
He's good too.
Solid club. They returned. They have a bunch of guys that played in a regional last year and played deep into a regional. So, I mean, just like anybody on that list you can pick out.
Oh, yeah.
That you would play against. It's going to be a solid club, well coached. They're playing at their home field. But I truly like our club, and then I love where we're at right at this point, and look forward to it. Now, this is something that you guys as fans need to be aware of. There's rain in the forecast for this weekend, so there's a strong possibility that our games are going to get moved up to Friday and Saturday. If they do get moved up to Friday and Saturday, potentially a 3:30 start on Friday and a 12 p.m. start on Saturday for the doubleheader if necessary. No changes have been made yet, but be looking for that on the website. Gary will put that up there on the website if changes are made. We'll make a decision tomorrow morning on what our schedule is going to be for the weekend. So as of right now, it's a single game on Saturday, doubleheader on Sunday, but could potentially move up to a single game on Friday, doubleheader on Saturday. Wait and see. Keep your eyes posted on social media and the website for that.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good, and we can't wait for it. It's going to be a fun weekend for us. And just to keep you updated, we want nothing more than the win. But if we do happen to lose, we will have one more episode. I believe it will be on a Monday. Because school will be finished on Monday, and I don't have any more exams. I don't know about Brandon's schedule, but we would conclude the show on Monday. But if we win, we'll just do the show, I guess, on Tuesday or Thursday, and get you updated on the following weekend. So
we'll see you next Tuesday or Thursday.
That's right, certainly. That's right. All right, well, that's all I got. Do you have anything else?
No, we're good, man.
All right, sounds good. Hope everybody has a great week, and wish us luck this weekend. See you.